Nigel's here now for What the Farage, and breaking tonight, Home Secretary Suella Braverman has admitted our immigration system is, quote, broken and illegal immigration out of control in a searing address to Parliament. Taking aim at her critics, she urged them to stop pretending migrants were refugees in distress when the whole country knows that's not true. And she called the crisis an invasion. So, Nigel Farage, you have been saying for years that the migrant crisis is a national emergency. Suella Braverman speaking your language in Parliament tonight. But is it too late now for the government to get control of this problem with already 40,000 arrivals this year alone?
Well, huge damage, Dan, has been done already, but it was nice to hear some Farage's language in Parliament today. I said before, had I been a Tory MP, I would have voted for her to be the leader of the Conservative Party. She's the only one. She is literally the only one of those senior Conservatives that actually believes in stuff and is not afraid to say it. And the use of the word invasion, well, I have to say, I've used that word for the last 2.5 years. I've been condemned for it. She did it. She made it absolutely clear. Let's not kid ourselves. Many of these people are not refugees by any sense of that definition. So, well done her. But you'll notice that the entire Remainer media London establishment is against her. They're calling for her to go. She apparently has broken national security rules by asking senior MPs if they thought the policies she was trying to adopt were right. I mean, don't tell me that every cabinet minister doesn't do that every single week. It's going to be fascinating to see whether she survives or not. It really, really is. But it was good to see. It was great to see, finally, a politician standing up at the dispatch box and speaking from their heart, speaking with their soul, saying what they really believed in, rather than what they thought The Guardian wanted to hear.
I couldn't agree more, Nigel. I guess the issue is the Tory party totally divided on this issue. So many wets in the party, Nigel. They just don't have the stomach for the fight. I mean, have a listen to what Sir Roger Gale, the Conservative MP, outgoing, said to the BBC, of course, on the Today programme this morning.
If someone believed that the worse conditions were, the clearer a signal it would send to people who are not yet in the UK, don't come, because it won't be attractive. What would you say to that view?
I would say that is wholly unacceptable. As I, for the record, find the Rwanda policy wholly unacceptable. Got to build bridges with the French to get a proper policy in place. That is the grown-up way to solve this problem. We're not going to do it by knee-jerk dog-whistle politics.
I mean, that's within her own party, Nigel.
Yes. Oh, yes. And actually, later on in that interview, he called for more hotels. Yes, more hotels. Why didn't you book more hotels? Crikey, O'Reilly. Just 2 weeks ago, they were trying to book a castle in North Cornwall, a lovely holiday destination to put migrants in. I was up in Manchester at the weekend. All anyone was talking about were migrant hotels in the northwest filling up. Nearly 300 hotels are filled already, and yet in the Commons today, why didn't you book more hotels? Well, I very much hope they build an encampment on Sir Roger Gale's lawn, because frankly, what is he thinking? The reason there's a problem at Manston is because of a number of young Albanian men that crossed the channel this weekend. 990 on Saturday, 468 yesterday. Oh, and by the way, they're the ones we know about. An increased number of beach landings. People in the village of Aycliffe. A woman I had on my show tonight who now carries keeps a sledgehammer under her bed for fear of being invaded and attacked. This is, and you said it in your intro to me, this is a national emergency that is now spiralling out of control. Rishi Sunak, when he ran to be leader this summer, gave a 10-point plan. He made it clear within his first 100 days of being leader, there would be legislation that would overturn the current European Convention on Human Rights. We will find out in the next few weeks of what Rishi Sunak is made. But you know something? I'm expecting very much. I'm really not expecting...
and I'm not either. But Nigel, if you just look at the pure politics of this, though, Sunak is not a stupid bloke, right? And surely he knows that he's got zero chance of winning the next election. If there is 50, 60, who knows? I mean, who knows? I don't know what you're predicting, Nigel, but by 2024, what? 70,000 arrivals, say, in a year. He knows he would be thrashed. So just if you're looking at the real politic of this, actually, is there an argument for Sunak to get tough, whether he actually believes it or not?
You can see a machine gun post 50 yards away. You can know that if there's an assault, your men are going to get really badly cut up by it. But the question is, do you as the officer have the courage to lead a charge to take it out before your men suffer? And that's exactly where we are. It's exactly where we are. If that machine gun post of illegal immigration, and by the way, legal immigration too, I'm told the next set of figures will shock everybody. That's on legal immigration. But leadership is about having courage. Leadership is about taking risks. Leadership is about not being fearful of criticism. We don't yet know what kind of leader Rishi Sunak is. Is he a leader? Is he a follower? We are about to find out. But if he isn't a brave, if he isn't a leader, then the modern day equivalent of being scythed down by machine guns is dozens, scores, maybe hundreds of his MPs will lose their seat.
Indeed. And of course, Nigel Farage has been leading the charge on this story since 2020. He'll have another special edition of his show at 7 p.m. tomorrow night here on GB News. Thank you so much, Nigel.